This coverage of Computex 2019 has been sponsored by MSI. Without them, I wouldn't be here to check out these new laptops. MSI had a couple of new models on display. Let's start out with the beast, the MSI GT76 Titan. It's available with an Intel 9900K CPU, which MSI is saying can reach 5GHz on all cores. Yes, that's right, the desktop 8-core 16-thread CPU overclocked. None of those mobile chips here. While other 9900K laptops exist, I've even reviewed some. I've never been able to maintain 5GHz. It's also listed as having RTX 2080 or 2070 graphics. No max-Q here, as you'd expect. This is some serious power. To keep it all cool, we're going to need an impressive cooling solution. And lucky for us, that appears to be the case. Seriously, just look at this thing. It's got 11 heat pipes and 4 fans. The parts that come into contact with the CPU and GPU have also been CNC polished to make the surface smoother than what you'd normally have, which helps with heat transfer. The heat sinks up the back are also looking quite thick. I've never seen a laptop cooler quite like this. We can get a glimpse of the cooling in action by looking underneath, as there are lots of holes for airflow. The GT76 clearly uses a lot of power, which is why it needs 2 power bricks. They connect in through here and then into the laptop. As a result of all of this, I expect it will be quite loud, and I could hear the fans on the loud show floor if that gives you any indication. I've tested a couple of 9900K laptops in the past, and while they easily beat most other laptops, they were limited in terms of thermals, which is fair considering how hot the 9900K can get even in a desktop PC, so it will be very interesting to see how MSI's design stacks up. I'm not certain, but it looks a little thinner than the older GT75, which may explain why the glorious mechanical keyboard is unfortunately no more. It's got the option of a 17.3-inch 1080p 144Hz panel or 4K, Thunderbolt 3, and 4 memory slots, which means it can go right up to 128GB, which is insane, and Rgb lighting along the front and left and right hand sides. In terms of I/O, on the left from the front to the back, we've got 2 3.5mm audio jacks, 2 USB 3 Type-A ports, USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C port with Thunderbolt 3, Ethernet port, and power input. On the right, there's a micro SD card slot, 2 more USB 3 Type-A ports, second Type-C port, and DisplayPort and HDMI outputs. And around the back, you can see it sticks out quite a bit due to all that cooling. Next, we've also got the MSI GE65 Raider, which is available with either RTX 2070 or 2060 Max-P graphics, and up to an Intel i9-9880H 8-core CPU. Pretty crazy stuff considering the machine isn't all that thick. Sure, it's definitely not as thin as MSI's thinner GS series, but it's nowhere near as big as the Titan we just looked at. This one is available with 15.6-inch 1080p 144Hz or 240Hz refresh rates. So yeah, clearly a gaming laptop. It's good that Computex this year isn't only about creator laptops. Otherwise, MSI also had a few other models on display which have been refreshed with Intel's new 9th Gen H series CPUs. There was some GP65 and GP75 laptops, which I'd love to get my hands on too, as a lot of you guys have been asking me to check out the GP series, so hopefully I can get those for testing soon. I've also had a lot of people asking me about MSI laptops with the new Nvidia 16 series graphics. MSI will have quite a few models with the GTX 1660 Ti, including the GS65, GS75, GP75, GL73, and GL63. For the GTX 1650, we're looking at the GF75 and GF63, which are MSI's entry-level gaming laptops. I've tested a few of these in the past, but I'm really interested to see how the new 9th Gen CPUs and 16 series graphics compare. As you can hopefully see, MSI have a lot of different gaming laptops available, so let me know down in the comments which ones you want to see me review. And of course, get subscribed so you don't miss the rest of my Computex 2019 coverage.